EU5 has hundreds, thousands of nations to play, which can make it hard to know who you should check out. So today I'm going to point out some unique and interesting starts for potential campaigns. Starting with Byzantium. I'm sure you're aware of Byzantium. You're likely also aware of the legitimate rulers of Byzantium, the Komnenos family in Trebizond, and the last of the Goths in Theodoro. But are you also aware of a branch of the Palaiologos family ruling in Montferrat? They even have a unique flag if they form Italy. What better nation to form a Rome in the West than descendants of actual Roman nobility? Moving north into Germany, there are two nations I would like to highlight. First, Aachen, ruled by the last remaining Karling. The second, Mulhausen, ruled by the last living descendants of Otto the Great. These two nations kind of have the same sort of playstyle. Both of them start as republics, ruled by distant descendants of noteworthy HRE rulers. Otto the Great, the one who formalized the HRE into the state it now is, and of course Charlemagne, making them both perfect for a sort of HRE centralization run. One with a more Germanic focus over in Mulhausen, and the other with a more French focus over in Aachen. Moving back into Eastern Roman territory, we have another two to look at. Cyprus, ruled by the descendants of the last kings of Jerusalem, making them the obvious target to refound Jerusalem with. After all, the Cyprus government is essentially just the remnants of the Jerusalem regime anyway, who retreated to the island. Over amongst the Italian-controlled nations in southern Greece, we have the nation of Argos, ruled by House Brienne. These guys too are descendants of the last Latin emperors, making them a good option for a Latin Empire restoration run, though quite a difficult one with their 59 levies and the fact that they aren't a vassal of anyone and so have no protection. Surely the remnants of the Great Fourth Crusade can make a comeback, right? Moving over into Persia, we have the unassuming nation of Tabaristan, ruled by the Bovand dynasty. The game doesn't show it, but these guys are direct descendants of the ancient Persian Sassanid dynasty, making them perfect for a Zoroastrianism restoration of the Persian Empire. Unfortunately, Zoroastrianism has next to no content in the game currently. If you still want to play as them, I recommend using the Zoroastrian Resurgence mod, which adds a fair amount of content to Zoroastrianism. No incestuous marriages though, so you're out of luck there. Moving into India, we have Centara, the last Jainist nation in the world. Jainism's quite an interesting religion, having the self-control mechanic, having religious figures, having monasteries but being unable to declare war without CBs, as well as using karma. As such, it's quite a hard start, being the only nation of your religion and being heavily restricted on when you can declare war. Definitely a favourite for people who want to revive ancient religions starting with essentially nothing. Moving a little further south, we have Cochin. This nation's pretty unassuming, but it's actually one of the two holy sites for Nestorianism and has the highest population of Christians in India. This playthrough is similar to Centara, but instead of reviving ancient Jainism, you're creating a Christian India under Nestorianism, maybe even founding a third Rome in India. Heading over to Manchuria, there's someone I would like to call out. The minor tribe of Dala. On the surface, nothing really unique about them, but their ruling dynasty, the Odoli dynasty, is actually the ancestors of the historical founders of Jin and the Qing dynasty. So if you want a historically accurate playthrough of later Jin, these are the guys. Moving on to Japan, I want to start this by saying I don't recommend playing in Japan. Japan is just not fun to play in currently. It's kind of a mess. One day it will probably be fixed, but for now it isn't. Even so, there are a few nations or clans I want to call out. While Clan Taira is extinct, they do have descendants. Everyone's beloved Oda clan is a descendant of the Taira dynasty, as well as the Hojo and Kabayakawa clans. Similarly, the Fujiwara clan is also extinct, but again, like the Taira, they have descendants. Everyone's beloved Uesugi clan, for example, or the E clan. But if you want to form Japan as their historic unifiers, unfortunately the Tokugawa clan is not in the game, nor is its older Matsudaira clan. But the Nita clan, which the Matsudaira/Tokugawa claim descent from, is in the game. A branch of the Minamoto family. If you wanted to form Japan as their historic unifiers, this is the closest you can get until the Matsudaira or Tokugawa family eventually finds its way into the game. To finish up, there are two other things I want to talk about. Unfortunately, Frederick Barbarossa's family is in the game, but they have no living descendants outside of one 57-year-old woman. So no Frederick Barbarossa restoration, unfortunately. I want to mention House Capet. The death of every male relative of this dynasty is what led to the 100-Year War. But can it be revived? Yes, in a roundabout way. There are two rulers of the dynasty at the start, both women, both married with children who aren't of their dynasty. Personally, I favour Jeanne II here. She has one son, a Burgundian. If you change her starting succession law to matrilineal non-exclusive, it means her children will now be born of her dynasty. The problem is, of course, her son. You'll just have to hope he dies. You can also potentially divorce your husband by getting a divorce from the Pope and potentially have Capet children and continue the Capet line and revitalize her family. Pretty roundabout way of doing things, but it can be done. Before we finish, I'd like to draw your attention to one nation, the High Judicate of Arborea, the only judicator in the game, with the unique judicator reform, as well as the judicator elective succession law. That's really all there is to say about them. So if you like the idea of playing as a world-spanning judge and conquering the world, they're definitely appealing, especially since they can form Italy. Maybe culture switch to Greek and form Byzantium. For now though, I think that's enough nations and characters. Do let me know what you think. I'm sure there are some other nations that you guys are aware of, so feel free to share your hidden secret or favourite starts in the comments. For now, I do hope this video was helpful and it gave you some interesting campaign ideas, but this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.